I'll go for refuge until I'm enlightened through the Buddha and Dharma Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of feeling and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened through the Buddha and Dharma Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of feeling and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Son, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened through the Buddha and Dharma Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of feeling and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Chola Choki Chonam Lao Chanju Bardo Dami Kyatsuchi Dami Jinso Give Sonam Ki Chola Benji Sangye Chumarasho Sangye Chola Choki Chonam Lao Chanju Bardo Dami Kyatsuchi Dami Jinso Give Sonam Ki Chola Benji Sangye Chumarasho Sangye Chola Choki Chonam La Jamju Bardo Dami Kyatsuchi Dami Jinso Give Sonam Ki Chola Benji Sangye Chumarasho. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Bhavana. The cessation of the causes as well as taught by the sphere. I will do some question answers. Okay, there's several of them. How do we make everyone feel important when our love is still unstable and conditional? Apart from aspirations, what are the baby steps to do it? Okay, how do we make everyone feel important when our love is still unstable and conditional? I think there's another question also, which was very similar to this. It's a very practical question. The question is, say that they say theoretically or in principle, the ideal situation is where each one of us can like feel yourself like a mother, and all others are like children. And then, depending on the capacity of the children, then to some you have to give more attention, to some you have to give less attention, meaning not as much as others. For example, someone who's autistic, you have to give more attention. And if there's someone who has the capacity to really lead the whole nation eventually, again, there you have to give some more technical parts like this. And someone who always feels dejected, you have to give more love. So like this. So from your side, it's the same. But then depending on the situation, then you need to know how to skillfully act. So the question is, how do we make everyone feel important? How do we make everyone feel important? One thing is that, say, whether you express it, not express it, but the first thing that is important that from your side, the mind should be as pure. Mind should be as pure. And when you say as pure, we can't expect you to be 100% pure right now. So whatever degree purity that you have, be 10%, it's fine. Be 5%, 95% is still pure, it doesn't matter. If it's 5%, start from here. From here, one thing that we need to know, we need to have is the aspiration to improve. Then I must improve. By knowing that what my compassion, my love and affection for others, my purity is just 5%. I must improve to 10, 15, 20. It doesn't matter however long it may take. But I will improve, right? How? By saying no to the self-centered attitude, self-grasping ignorance, and attachment, anger, and jealousy. So forth. See how much you can do that. This is one thing. Then, this is from your side. Now the next actual approach. One, you from your side, with this aspiration that I must grow, and you put a little effort every day to think about Bodhicitta for immeasurables like this. Every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes like this. Just spend like those must be taken every day. And those must be taken. With this aspiration that I must change. With this mind, I must change. This is the one which will push you. And the steps will be effective. You'll feel the effect of that. Then, this is what we should be doing on a daily basis. And then say, although you wish that I become Buddha for the conversation, then when you actually go out, again, the biases, the attachment, aversion, and the anger, and so forth and arise. But deep inside, again the next day, you take the next dose. Then I must improve. Yesterday, I did like this, I should be doing like that, but again I gave into anger, so very unfortunate, I will not do anger anymore. Again, you make a commitment. This is how we improve. So, okay. Now, with this, whatever purity that we have, then when I actually reach out, I reach out to other people. So, how to make everyone feel important, meaning others feel important. So here, the first thing that is very important is that because that you have this deep, say, aspiration to become loving, compassionate for everyone. So you have to somehow, through your physical, verbal, actions, you must express your purity, your affection and concern for the individuals like this, like this, like this. Whenever you get an opportunity to meet with this person, make sure that you are there for that person. It's not that, okay, I'm talking to you, you're pretending it's what you're listening, your mind is somewhere. The moment you do that, other person can sense it, which means that you are not really showing concern to you, right? Whereas one person cannot possibly, go to every million, 7 billion human beings, one another. It's impossible. But where you meet, with whom you meet, make sure that you spend 5 minutes there, the focus should be full. That other person feels that you are paying importance to the person. This is so important. It's so important. And in fact, if you look at His Holiness the Dalai Lama, you would believe he's a world celebrity. He's a world celebrity. Everybody wants, all politicians, except for political reasons, all politicians, everyone wants to see him, meetings, to see counsel from him. And yet, for him, there's no difference whether you are a top politician, whether you're the richest person, whether you're the poor person, it doesn't matter for him. The moment you are in front of him, he pays full attention to you. You are the world for him. This is the reality for him. He's not that you just formally he's meeting you because you saw his appointment and then he's thinking about something else. No, when he meets you, you are the world for him. He will give full attention and he will rather listen to you more than him speaking to you. Just you can speak anything, he will listen to you. And he does not have time actually. And yet he will give full time for you during that time. This is a kind of indication of his love and affection towards you, for the individuals. Okay, it's very important. One. Then, say depending on the situation, it's very tricky. This is what is known as the skillfulness, which we have to all embrace. We have to all try to learn. For example, say there are situations. Say you have your nephew and niece. Then there's another child. And your nephew and niece, they're well off. No problem. But the other child has hardly anything to eat. Has hardly experienced ice cream. Right? So under such situation, who's more deserving? This question. Your benefit. Who's more deserving? So, objectively, without excluding your relationship, excluding your superficial relationship, the mundane, worldly relationship, that person who's poor, the young boy who's poor, young girl who's poor, deserves your compassion more. So, that, say for example, if you want to give some money, maybe like 100, and your nephew is 10, something like that. This is one. At the same time, again the complexity is there, it's so complex. At the same time, now it's not whether they're poor or whether they're well off. This is one area. And then the area is expectation from the other side. Other side, oh, I'm her nephew, I'm her niece. So therefore, I should deserve more. Right? And the other person, no, I'm nothing related to him or her, right? So the young boy or the young girl who is not at all related to you will not expect anything from you, right? So now the situation is very tricky. From the worldly relationship point of view, the young nephew niece expects more from you than the stranger young boy. But from the reality point of view, the other one deserves more affection and love from you, right? So it's a very tricky situation. So here, now the thing is that try your best not to hurt the sentiments of anyone, right? And then say, oh, whatever you have given to your nephew is, and the other one just ignore. This is terrible. So this keeps you far away from Bodhicitta. Because you're totally under what is known as nepotism. Nepotism, meaning that your mind is, just infatuated with your relatives and not least concerned about the others. whether they are poor, very deserving, destitute. This is pure nepotism. It is disease. It is a disease of bodhicitta. For someone practicing bodhicitta, this is a disease. You must get rid of that. One. At the same time, you are not only to benefit the poor deserving person, you are also to benefit your relative. Right? One. And then, from another angle, say the someone who is biologically connected or say emotionally connected, so that person feels that I am closely related to him. So already the person is gifted with a sense of connection. The person is gifted with a sense of connection. So whatever you say, that person will invite more. There's a tendency. It's not 100% of the case. Don't generalize, right? So from that point of view, the dynamics and the chemistry is very complicated. So what we should be doing is that finally the mark is that how not to offend all, how to make everyone happy, right? So what I usually do, practically speaking, in my own limited capacity, what I used to do is that I make sure that, say, in front, I do just give equal, whether it's my nephew, niece, or someone else. Just who's over there, I give equal. So no doubt the nephew niece feels a little offended. Because, oh, he's my uncle, right? I expect. And then just treat him equal. So therefore they may feel a little offended. And at the same time, so when they come to meet you separately, then you show affection. I can give something extra, right? Give something extra. And this, the others will not feel offended because they don't expect anything and that you've only given something equal, right? And then what the nephew needs, because of this connection, they expect something more. Say for example, husband, wife, parents, children, right? So the expectation is more. Again, the expectation degree, the need, all these have to be brought into consideration, right? So deep inside, the final benchmark is that from your side, there should be no discrimination. There should be no degree of difference in terms of love and compassion towards others. Just see to the reality. See to the reality. The reality is twofold. One is the need. Other one is the conventional norm. You bring, because the moment you treat everything as equal and somebody is offended as the point. Right? So therefore, you do something whereby, if possible, the least number of people are offended and the most number of people are happy. So this is what we have to do. This requires skillfulness. And skillfulness, try to learn it from, the people. You try to look at other people, how they deal with the situations. Okay, this is one thing. Number two, how to deal with your self-centeredness if that same person constantly raising his or her voice at you whenever you are at his or her service, especially if he's your client. Okay, so here, these are all practical questions. Very practical questions. You try to be very compassionate. In other words, you try to be very compassionate, and the other person keeps on raising his voice towards you. No matter how much good that you do, that person keeps on raising his voice towards you. So how should you deal with such a situation? So the best thing is, okay, two things which is so common. Two things to keep in mind for almost all situations. One is always maintain self-confidence. Always maintain self-confidence and try to maintain calmness. Calmness and self-confidence. And if the other person speaks a lot, you don't speak. Because the other person doesn't want to listen to you. Other person wants you to listen to you. Listen, but maintain calmness. Maintain self-confidence. Listen to the extent that you and both sides we feel the power of silence. The power of silence is amazing. It's a magic. You don't have to waste any energy, and the whole effect of the dealing with other person is accomplished by remaining silence. Particularly when other person is talking to you so much, right? You remain silent. Remain silent and maintain calmness and maintain confidence, self-confidence. Then other person will slowly, the subject matter to convey, she wants to convey something. So that is finished. That is finished, you are not responding, he or she is continuing. There's nothing to continue. Right? Then he or she has to repeat. Repeating 7 times is fine. Repeating 3 times is fine. 4 times the person will feel embarrassed. Right? Will feel himself very childish. Repeating the same thing 4 times, 5 times, then slowly the person stop talking, stop shouting. Right? And still maintain calmness. Right? But not sarcastic. Don't be sarcastic. Sincerely calm, sincerely self-confident, and listen, remain silent. So the voice of the silence is amazing. The power of the silence is amazing. Other person will slowly stop, right? And then you are not speaking anything. The person will not shout next time, because the person is already exhausted, right? Nothing more to say. Yes.
Sometimes people shout, and they shout at you, and they want an answer from you now.
Okay. Other situation, don't lose your composure. Don't lose your composure. Try to maintain your calmness and maintain self-confidence. Maintain self-confidence, and then whatever answer that you have, don't shout back. Don't shout back. If the other person really wants to answer now, right? Whatever answer that you have, and say, just with the due respect. The power of respect, again, is amazing. We think that others shouting at you and you should shout. You show respect. It's stupid. That's not true. Just try it, right? In any ways, if you don't have untimely death, our life is long. You can experiment it so many times. Sometimes you shout back and see the result. Sometimes show respect, maintain calmness and show respect. Okay, with due respect, since that you want to answer, let me say, right? Let me say what I think, right? So basically, I don't think that's the right time. But then since that you want me to do that, so with due respect, I will just express what I feel. And if what you want to express, be very sensitive, be very discreet. What you're going to share today, if this would make other person fire into more, but become anger and the ego boosting, ego hurt, don't do that. Because this is a time where his or her ego should be quelled through your gesture, right? Just say, I appreciate. And keep in mind that everyone has one good quality or the other good quality. It's not that 100% is the mistake of the other person. You might have your own mistakes, right? On such situation, what you do is that admit the other person's qualities. What you said, from this point of view, I agree fully. So at this point, I have some view, let me share. Like this. And then you give your thoughts. Right? And then what mistake you have, you admit it. So you admit your mistake, and you admit the other person's qualities and your opinions, then the other person will cool down. If the other person, the tendency is to go from 50% to 80%, it will not go, at least it will not go to 80%, it will go to 60, remain 50. It will not go down. Right? This is the way confidence, power of silence, and acknowledging the other person's good qualities, and acknowledging your mistakes, right? So these must be here, and then you can give your opinions. Just see what degree of the opinions you have to give, that you have to see. Okay, right? I think this question is from John. Yes, John. Okay, now next we have, in practicing Bodhicitta, okay, we try to treat everyone as equal. Maybe this is written by someone who's very young. It writes very small letters. I can't see very clearly. Okay. In practicing Bodhicitta, we try to treat everyone as equal. Giving the same degree of compassion, unbiased love to all around us. But at the same time, we play different roles as a daughter, a son, spouse, sibling in our lives. Very true. And each person, in their own rights, expects to receive different degrees of love from us. So this is what I always said. Right? So because you're connected to the other person, as a son, as a daughter, as a spouse, as a parent, like that, other person expects different degree of affection from you. Question: how can we practice equanimity without causing a sense of dissatisfaction to others, yet fulfilling the expectation that one comes without different view? Very, very good practical question. Okay, so the answer is meaning from my point, from my view of the answer, is that from your side, there should be two things. There should be two things. What is inside you and how much you show. What is inside you and how much you show. There are two things. Right? What is inside you is yours. It is yours. And how much you show, it depends on the situation. If the other person does not like you to you, other person does not like you to say something which the other person feels a little inferior. Right? You say something, and then I feel a little inferior, and the other person doesn't like that. If this is the situation, then don't try to say everything good about yourself, right? Although you know what good things you have, don't say everything. Because the other person will feel so offended, other person may feel so inferior. Wow, it's amazing, I'm nothing, right? Okay, so how much you show, that's the situation, right? That's the situation. If you want to see green, and if it is blue day, but you want to see green, don't show other colors, only show what? Yellow. Show yellow and blue combined together, it becomes green. Right? You have all colors. Blue, green, white, pink, everything. And if you want to see green, if the other person wants to see green, and the other person is blue, show the yellow. And yellow and blue combined together, it becomes green. Right? Don't show everything whatever you have. It depends on the situation. It depends. If the other person is yellow, don't show yellow, it will become yellow. When you show blue, then the other person is green. So you have to know what to show. What you have is yours. So from your side, deep inside, you should be slowly. Basic principle is that you must cultivate equal love and affection towards everyone, whether it's your parents, children, spouse, sibling, or strangers, enemies. From your side, it should be equal. Now, what you show towards the world, when you interact with the world, then the world has different expectations. On that basis, when the expectation is not fulfilled, right, then they may feel hurt. Creating hurt, injuring others' feelings, this is one of the greatest downfall of the Bodhisattvas. So for the Bodhisattvas, one of the most important things is not to hurt the sentiments of others. Not to hurt the sentiments, not to injure others' feelings. This is one of the greatest commitments, the precepts, the pledges of the Bodhisattvas. So, now, how not offend
how not to injure others' feelings. It's not 100%, oh, I want to make him happy. And the other person is, say for example, other person has been hearing so many bad things, so many sad news. And then you're great, other person feels so unhappy. So you have to see what to say, what not to say, under what situation, to whom, under what time. You have to know the time, you have to know the place, you have to know the person, right? The time, place, and the person. And even the person, what is the background of the person, right? You have to try to know as much as possible. So therefore, Bodhisattvas, Buddha is one thing. Someone who is following the rules of the path, right? They should never forget two things. One is never hurt others. One. Number two, never feel complacent over learning. Never feel complacent. Never feel satisfied. Oh, now I've learned everything. Never feel satisfied with learning. Right? Keep learning more. Keep learning more. Keep learning more. These are the two things the Bodhisattvas should never stop. This is what the Buddha said. Right? So with this learning, look at the situation. Say the place. You have to know the place. You have to know that, for example, say, usually, for example, I deal with the Tibetan staff. Then, when I see the mistakes of the Tibetan staff, when I meet one-on-one in my office, I can fire them. Right? I can scold them. But in public, because they have good things, bad things. In public, I only pick up the good things the person does. I never embrace the staff individually in public. Even in front of someone who is visiting me, just maybe ordinary person, I will say only good things about the staff. Right? Because the staff should have a face, should have a confidence. Because the staff is to deal with outsiders. And if he or she is embarrassed in front of outsiders, how can she have confidence when dealing with outsiders in the future? And then he or she also, should be respected. And in any ways, I'm dependent on the staff. Right? So therefore, we should make sure that making the point, you know the place. You know the person's background. Oh, the person has lost his father, lost his mother, lost her mother, lost her father, sister, or like this. So here, the person is very sad. Maybe you say with the job, little bit lacking here and there can happen. You understand it. And then something wrong happens, right? And then if the person is really going through some problems, then call the person. And the person may be afraid that I did not do my work properly, so the director may be very angry. Call me. No, the person is in difficulty. If you are in his or her shoes, you will also have the same problem. You will also, say maybe some of the works may not be done properly. So just call the person. Your job is to give love and affection. Let the other person feel, let the staff feel that the director, the person really loves you, deeply loves you. Say, don't talk about the problem. Just talk and inquire about how is your family, how are you, things are all right. And because this tragedy happened to you, and if you have to take leave, take rest, it's very important that you should be happy. Right? Forget about small things, can happen even on UNO level, it can happen. Right? Negligence, not negligence, say mistakes. Can happen even on UNO level. For example, very recently I think somebody sent me this one message. And the message is some advertisement from some big company. And they also made an English mistake here. My English is terrible. Even with this internal English, I can say mistake here. Oh, the advertisement is a big company, right? So mistakes can happen. So why should we be so picky about mistake? Finally, the world should be a happy world. And the people who are working there should feel feel at home is so important. So the first little mistakes made here, just ignore that. Show concern about the staff. Are you okay? Right? So don't worry, these things can happen to other people. These things can happen even on the unit level. Your job is to be happy first. Be happy. Right? So if you really rest, you take more rest. It doesn't matter. For example, what happened in Tibet was doing one of the big programs in 2012. Big conference. Our secretary, she's very competent. Bhavana. She is very competent. And it's a big program conference with multiple workshops, lectures, performance, and she was tackling that. And then tomorrow was another big conference, conference. And today she was coming to me, she became so panicky, so nervous, coming to me and said, "Oh, Geshe, I made such a big mistake." I said, "What's the mistake?" And she said that the person who is supposed to be coming to give a lecture tomorrow on neuroscience, the person could not come. I said, "Why?" Because I gave wrong information to the person. Wrong information. And I was insisting that the person could take the flight today. And then he cannot come. Then he was calling me saying that, "Geshe, impossible." He's saying like this, "Impossible, after another meeting," right? Then I could see that she works. It is a mistake because of giving wrong information, the dates. And then she felt regret. And I said, "Why should you worry? Tibet house is nothing, it's too small as compared to UNO. Even these mistakes happen in UNO. Why should you worry? This mistake is made by a human being, you can correct it. Right? Don't worry, I'll take care of that. Your job is simply change the program. Right? So the program was happening day after, move to tomorrow. Because the people speaking day after are all intent here. What is happening tomorrow, we'll shift it to tomorrow. And then let him come to tomorrow. We just switch it. So the most important thing is not that the job should be done. No. The job is for the good of the humanity. Now you are losing humanity, saying that this job is not done, and then you fire the person. The humanity is destroyed. This person's humanity. So therefore, this is so important. People can make mistakes. Even you can also make mistakes. Keep in mind that I can also make mistakes. Right? So others can, why not? If I have the right to make mistakes, why don't others also have the right to make mistakes? Just keep this in mind. Just keep this in mind. Okay, with this, we see that the first thing that you need to have is from your side, there should be unbiased love and affection towards others. And that too, don't expect that coming 100% right today. Right? Whatever you have, 10% purity, 10% unbiased love. Try to at least have the aspiration that it is, admit your limitation. I must improve. I must improve. Right? And if possible, look at people who are really compassionate, who has like 60%, 80% unbiased love towards others. See how they behave. See how they react to interact with people. From there, keep that as a role model. And have aspiration that I must improve, No matter how long it takes, I will improve. One. Then when you actually meet with the people, look at the place, look at the person, look at the background of the person, look at the time. When you see whether how they reacting, is the timing, proper place, or the proper person. And some people, you say that, "Oh, you have just made this mistake." Immediately the person cracks down. Person starts becoming paranoid, right? No, the director has now known my mistake, right? Become paranoid, don't say. If you know this, don't say that. Don't say that, right? At the most, see how much you can say so that change is happening. transformation happening. That is more important than conveying the truth. Even though it's truth, the change in the person is more precious than conveying the truth. The person should change. Because of this change, the person should become happy. The happiness of the person is the one important thing. And for which, because the person basically makes a mistake, the person is not happy. So the person should be happy. For which the person should change. The change is important more than revealing the truth. Keep that in mind. Right? And how much truth should be revealed? That also see to the situation. Keep in mind the benchmark is whether I should reveal the truth or keep it away from revealing. The benchmark is to see whether it benefits others or not. Not that unbenefited, not that the truth should be revealed, whether others are benefited. That should be the benchmark. Right? Okay. Does Buddha have Bodhicitta? Are microbes like bacteria, viruses, sentient beings? This is okay. Solid question. Okay, good question. Okay, so does Buddha have Bodhicitta? The answer is yes. There are some scholars, they say no, but generally speaking, answer is yes. Bodhicitta is, okay, superficially, when we say that aspiration, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. May I be Buddha. So I become Buddha. He or she doesn't even say that may I become Buddha, right? So Bodhicitta is confined to this aspiration. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Then from that point of view, Buddha doesn't have Bodhicitta. From that point of view. But in our case, since we are not Buddha as yet, because of which, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. That is the Bodhicitta. Now the question is, whether or not the Buddhas have Bodhicitta. If the answer is yes, what is that Bodhicitta like, unlike ours now, right? So, say the Bodhicitta, it is, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. There's a deep aspiration. There is a deep aspiration and admiration in the perfect quality of the Buddhahood. Deep admiration in the perfect quality of Buddhahood, which has the capacity to benefit all sentient beings. Now I'm shifting it. The same wording, I'm shifting it without altering the meaning. The words I'm shifting. From may I become Buddha. Is this aspiration or not? Yes. Is this a profound admiration towards becoming Buddha or not? Yes. Now I'm shifting from may I become Buddha to the aspiration to become Buddha to the admiration in Buddhahood. Right? So the Buddhas have the final version of the admiration in this profession of the Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. So that is the blossom version of the Bodhicitta that we have, which is with the Buddhas. That's Bodhicitta. Right? It is the Buddha, it is the very profound admiration in this quality of the perfection, the Buddhahood, for the benefit of all other sentient beings. That is Bodhicitta. Whereas in our case, that admiration is reflected in the form of may I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. That is Bodhicitta in our case. Okay. Then the next question, microbes like bacteria, viruses, whether or not they are sentient beings. This is a very complicated question, right? So we can't really be 100% sure. And the Jainism, their version of sentient being, and the Buddha's version of sentient being is slightly different. Jainism, for them, the plants are also sentient beings. Right? Plants are also sentient beings. So therefore, they really go to the extent of even closing their mouth, covering their mouth, that any bacteria, viruses, they can just go in, then you can, die, and then when we walk, when barefooted, it's not like the sandal, heart, soul, just they're killing the insects or these. So they try to be, this is their practice. Amazing practice. Now, one thing which is so unique of the Buddha is several things. One, the Buddha made a distinction between sentient beings and living beings and living things. Buddha makes the distinction between living things and living beings. Living things means all the plants are also living things. Living things because even though it is pure chemically they can grow. Chemically they can grow with the seed, with the water, soil and other factors, heat, and they grow. But they do not have a mind. So because they have the capacity to grow, they are living things. They are living things. Because they don't have the mind, they are not living beings. They are not living beings, they are living things. Right? Now one thing which is so practical about Buddha, so practical, he's so practical, amazingly practical, is that finally, why should we be considerate to others? It's because, look at yourself. The question is, why should I be considerate to others? First ask it to yourself, why should others be considerate to me? What is the answer? Because I don't want pain, I want happiness. This is the benchmark. Why others should be considerate towards me? Why others, when they ignore me, I feel hurt. I don't want this to happen, right? But for example, all the traffic lights, the big buildings, right? And the ACs, the lights, all these things are created for our happiness and to remove the other difficulties. This is the reason. So therefore, those with that feeling of pain and feeling of happiness, those are the ones which are known as the living beings. Right? So our compassion meaning wishing that others be free from suffering. Only if the other person feels suffering, then this compassion makes sense. So that living beings feel the suffering. So your compassion towards the living beings makes sense. But the other living things, not the living beings like the plants, since they do not have that capacity to feel the pain and feel happiness, compassion makes no sense. At the same time, the Buddha is so considerate about the environment and the plants. Although they are not living beings, but the Buddha is so considerate because when the piece of bread is wet, then the insects, the microbes, all these things grow. When the bread becomes dry, they all disappear. Yes, no? And all the living things, like the plants, they're wet. Because of this wetness, many creatures, they tend to keep that as the shelter and food. They survive on these wet plants. So when you destroy one plant, you are destroying many lives which depend on this plant as their home and as their food. Not because the plant is living being, because this is the source depend on which many lives survive. So you are destroying many lives. So therefore the Buddha said that for trivial reasons, don't cut the plants. Right? Unless there's a really significant reason, purpose. Otherwise, don't destroy the plants. He's so particular about the environment and the plants. So practical. Not because they are plants, no. Right? Now the question arises, whether or not they are very tiny living beings, not just living things, very tiny living beings. The Buddha admits, yes, there are many, millions. In fact, the living beings that we see, living beings, not just living things, which we could see, which we could not see, which we could not see, is much more in number. Even in just this water, the living number of the living beings, although it's only treated water, so the number of living beings is millions and trillions. Buddha admits. Then the question arises, Buddha, your teaching is based on compassion. How can we use this water then? This question arises. Look at the practicality of the Buddha. Compassion is down, at the same time the practicality. How? The Buddha said that the monks, when you use the water, in those days, no tap water, no mineral water, you have to go to river. When you use the water, Buddha advised that first you say, take like a glass, clean glass, very clean glass, then you dip it on the surface, and see if there's insects inside. If there's no insect, then dip it from the middle and see if there's insect. No, then dip it from the bottom. If there's no, then you can drink it. If you, in any levels, where some insects, some worms can live on the surface, not in the bottom. Some worms live in the bottom, not on the surface. So practical. So only if you're sure that on all three levels there's no worm, you can use water. Then some of the monks, right, they are the leaders, they put debate against Buddha. But even though, then what about the unseen insects, unseen microbes there? Then in which case, can we use those monks who have clairvoyance, and what is known as the clairvoyance of the divine eyes? This one is one specific clairvoyance known as the clairvoyance of the divine eye, where you can see the tiny microbes. Right? Ordinary people cannot see. Through their clairvoyance, through the spiritual power, they can see the tiny microbes. So can we use that to see whether instead of digging with, dipping the cup, you can just start to look at the clairvoyance, and the microbes that you don't know. Then the Buddha said no. Buddha said no. If you use the clairvoyance, you will never get any water which does not have any microbes. The Buddha said it. And then, so then you don't drink water. It's very impractical. Because you have the capacity where to activate this Buddha nature. You have the capacity finally to become Buddha and benefit all these millions and trillions of microbes in the future. And then just because of this microbes there, and then you just die, let this body die. Then you are wasting a great opportunity to activate this Buddha nature. So at the most what you've done is you have had these microbes, one bottle of microbes, you saved, but you did not save them from the self-grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude. And on top of that, you are destroying such a precious human birth, which has the capacity to activate this Buddha nature, whereby you can protect millions and trillions of sentient beings and take them to Buddhahood. You have that capacity, and that capacity you simply the wasted it. So therefore, you are not to use your clairvoyance. Right? Finally, you have to activate this Buddha nature, for which this precious human birth is very important. Right? And then just with your bare eyes, there are water, which with our bare eyes cannot see the insects or the worms, and with our bare eyes where we can see. With our bare eyes when we see them and still you use them, your compassion disappears. But if you don't see them, if you use them, it does not affect your compassion. Right? Amazingly practical. Right? So this is the answer is there are very tiny insects which the Buddha, meaning the unseen creatures which are living beings, except by Buddhas. So what I would say is that bacteria is very precisely, I cannot say that, but among many of the bacteria, no doubt they are sentient beings. No doubt. So now then you take medicines to remove all those microbes. At the same time, when you do that, if you're mindful, say prayers. That, okay, with this, I'm trying to sustain my body. And the Buddha, very compassionate teacher, very compassionate, and all-knowing what is to be done in that particular time, in that particular place. So according to him, if he's right here, he would advise me to take medicine. Now what for? There must be a reason. What for? To experiment with Buddha nature. So that I can benefit all these microbes through diet. And not only that, many more, millions and trillions, billions of other sentients also. So my job is take this medicine and not waste this precious birth. I have to do something to practice Bodhicitta, to practice this maintenance, right? So these are the things that we need to keep in mind. Okay. What do the Buddhas, Devas, and gods do in their realms? Well, right? What must the Buddha doing? This is a good question. Okay. And the Buddhas and the Devas and gods. Okay. So, in Buddhism, when we speak about God, right? The God, there is one God which is accepted, and there is one God which is not accepted in Buddhism. So, always make this distinction. The God which is not accepted and God which is accepted. Say polytheism, monotheism, polytheism, where multiple gods are accepted. So that, from that point of view, say God realm, desire realm, form realm, formless realm. Form realm and formless realm both are labeled as God realms, Devadevis. Then within the desire realm, there is one realm which is God realm. So from this understanding point of view, the God is what is accepted. Whereas from the point of view of the God as the ultimate creator of everything, so that is not accepted, right? Another question is, what do the Buddhas do? What do these gods do in their realms, right? So the Buddhas, just let us speculate. Just let us imagine just let us imagine that there's no sentient being. All sentient beings are already freed to samsara, to nirvana, to Buddhahood. There's no sentient beings there now. Everyone's Buddha now. And if that is the scenario, then the Buddhas, right, they simply will abide in this Dharmakaya, abide in this non-dual experience continues, that's it. Right? They will not watch television. Yeah, they don't go for shopping. They don't do all these things. They simply abide in the experience of the non-duality of the two truths. Whereas, if the need be, if the sentient beings appear, while abiding in this Dharmakaya, simultaneously, without any effort, will manifest in whatever way the sentient beings are benefited. Right? If there is one sentient being, say, who is just traveling with a very heavy load, and this sentient being, this person, has a current connection with you as the Buddha, whereby his load can be reduced by your helping him. So in such situation, then the Buddha may arise, simultaneously arise, just spontaneously arise in the form of just a co-passenger, right? And then you are carrying the load, and another passenger happens to just meet you. And what are you doing? Oh, where are you going? It's far away. This body carries so heavy. So I'll help you. And when I feel tired, then you have to take it. Otherwise, I'll help you. Then Buddha will depend on how you think, right? So if you are really tired, when you can't really possibly take anything, then the Buddha may take everything. Whereas if you can take half, and you feel comfortable taking half rather than not taking anything, then Buddha will give you half to you, half Buddha will take. So like these, then Buddha manifests in whatever way the sentient beings can be benefited. So otherwise, it's not that now I'm free, I have nothing to do. And otherwise, television, that I go for, say what, the beach. So these are all normal. It's just a spontaneous experience of dissolving into Dharma experience. The perfect unity of bliss and emptiness. Perfect unity of bliss and emptiness. Right? Okay. Now what about the gods? So these gods, there are various levels. Gods, there are various levels. Mundane gods and the super-mundane gods. Super-mundane gods meaning the Bodhisattvas who take birth as gods. Bodhisattvas, particularly the Bodhisattvas above Paragate. What is Paragate? Pavasiye. So Bodhisattvas who reach Pavasiye and above they are known as super-mundane Bodhisattvas, superior Bodhisattvas, Arya Bodhisattvas. So there, what they do is, they manifest themselves. They have the power, they manifest themselves to benefit the sentient beings, give teachings, and so forth. Right? Okay. Then we say the ordinary gods, like us, ordinary beings, by your karma taking birth as the God, the God realm. So, God, desiring God, they're just most into indulgence. Most of the gods in desire realm, they're most into indulgence. They just go into the garden, just enjoy that, go into the swimming pool, natural swimming pool, they wash the body, just fun. This is what those mundane gods in the desire realm do. Then the mundane gods in the form and formless realm, they simply absorb into meditation. This is what the gods do. Okay. How did the world start in a Buddhist perspective?
Sorry.
Yes.
How about those the Taoist gods?
Taoist, okay. Taoist God, I have to check with them. I have to check with the Taoist God. Hey, what level you are in? The mundane God or super mundane God? That I have to check. But you realize emptiness? But you realize the empty what? Paragate, right? If there is Paragate and they are taking care of the Taoist people, they are the super mundane gods. If they are already reached the Paragate level, seeing emptiness directly and taking care of the people who believe in Taoism, right? Right? Even those people who do not believe in Buddha, who do not believe in Buddha, who believe in Taoism, they are also sentient beings, right? They also, Buddha loves them so much, right? Bodhisattvas love them so much, they also have to be taken care of. So some of the Bodhisattvas, they deliberately take the form of the Taoist teachers, right? To take care of them. At least to make them good people, to make them, to have a good family, harmonious family, right? And good learning in these things. So we have to check with the gods. First we have to intuit what level you are in, right? So According
to what you just said, does that apply to also to receive that people worship to the hell gods?
To worship to?
Hell gods.
Hell gods. Same. As long as, say for example, in fact, for the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, what you believe in is not the most important thing. For the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, your happiness is number one important thing, right? And if you feel more happy believing in the head God, and then you are least interested in the any other thing, emptiness, bodhicitta, least interested. I don't care about this, my head God. If this is what you encounters, the Buddhist Bodhisattvas will encourage you, continue, encourage you, support you. For example, in Tibet, during the time of the 5th Dalai Lama, when Tibet was independent, 5th Dalai Lama, what he did was that he is a Buddhist leader. He has the political power. He He has the spiritual power, spiritual authority, temporal power, political power, both in Tibet in 13th century. 13th century. So, and this, he is not only Buddhist, a highly accomplished Buddhist master, the fifth Dalai Lama. So what he did is that he gave a plot of land for the Muslims. Said that you need a place to worship. You come. This is a place for you. There are some Tibetans who eventually became Muslims by interacting with the Muslim business merchants. So there were some Tibetan Muslims. They were being left unattended or without, like this. Then he sensed that and said, "You are Tibetan. This is your place. Come. And you are Muslim. You need a place of worship. Build mosque here." He gave a land, and he encouraged them to build a mosque here and create your own community here. So therefore, he believes that finally everybody has to become enlightened, right? Buddha. But more than becoming Buddha, first thing is that everyone should be happy. It is like a mother and the children. And the mother is a great scientist, a physics professor. And some of you may be wondering, why he's always saying physics professor, physics professor? Some of you might be wondering. Because when I was in school, particularly class 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 years, I was so crazy after thinking of becoming a physicist myself. Yeah, I was thinking of becoming a physicist. So that made me to continue exploring physics all the way even after relinquishing physics. Even now, I will be teaching some physics, right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that if the mother is any incredibly renowned physicist, but if the child is interested in music, if the mother really loves the child, right? Hey, you should become physics, you should become physicist, you should study physics, forget music, which means either the mother is not skilled or the mother is very selfish. That I want you to do what I'm doing. It's very selfish. Whereas if the mother is very passionate, truly passionate, mother will say, you're not interested in physics, I see that, don't worry. You're interested in music, you're better than me. Just do it, I'm there to support you. Right? Her mother is not at all interested in music, but she's very supportive of what the child is doing. So therefore, for Buddhist bodhisattvas, what you're doing is secondary. Your happiness is number one. If what you do, being a Muslim, it makes you happier, be a Muslim. If you are happier by being Christian, be Christian. If you're happier by being non-believer, be non-believer. At least don't harm others. Keep yourself happy. So this is the best way. Okay.
Geshe,
Yes.
what if the musician comes back and wants everyone to become a musician?
That's also beautiful. That's also nice. And not only become a musician, happy musician. People can become musician, very unhappy musician. Because there are many lawyers who are very unhappy lawyers. Right? Either they were forced by their parents to go into law, or initially they thought it's good. They ended up finishing LLM, and they had a degree in law. Finally, they went to see the lawyers, the tension, how much they had to fight in the law, in the court case, how much they had to tell lies in the court. They don't want to do that. So they become very unhappy lions. So don't make all unhappy musicians. Right? If possible, make everyone, if you can, or even the Buddha cannot make you a Buddhist. Keep this in mind. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, I think this question, there are so many questions. I don't know. What the Buddha do? There are so many of these beautiful questions there. It's fun to be with this question. How did the world start in a Buddhist perspective and from a Jain perspective? Wow, this is not what the Buddhists do in the realm. Okay, how did the world start? from the Buddhist point of view and from the Zen point of view. Okay, first let me give a Zen point of view. Zen meaning from science, from physics point of view. Before physics, let me say Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin, he did not touch how the world, how the universe, how the world begins. What he was interested in is how the life began. How the life began. This was his inquiry, not how the world began. Now, how the world began was shown interest by the physicists, particularly the cosmologist, astrophysicist, right? So according to astrophysicists, the world begins, or even the universe, they talk about the universe, but it's still controversial still. But they speak about the universe. How the universe came to be, according to the physicist, is that we've still 2 minutes. Okay, is that, say, through what is known as the Doppler's effect, through the knowledge of the Doppler's effect, there's what is known as the Doppler's effect. Doppler's effect. From the Doppler's effect, this method, they could see that the universe, the visible universe, is expanding all the time. Visible universe is expanding all the time. And expanding meaning there is some speed. The speed at which it is expanding. The speed keeps increasing through, they notice that through Doppler's effect. The universe is expanding. Which means if the universe is this big, the visible universe, if it is this big today, 100 years ago, it is smaller. 1 billion years ago, it's still smaller. 1 billion years ago, it's still smaller. 15 billion ago, everything is together. Right? Everything, the visible universe, 15 years ago, back in time, everything is together. So this is known as the singularity. This is what the physicists call as the singularity. The singularity. Right? So, which means that in this tiny black hole, what we call as the black hole, the tiny black hole, in this tiny black hole, everything is crunched, and because of excessive energy there, it exploded. It exploded, there's a big bang. There's a big bang, explosion, big bang. It can be known as Big Bang Theory. So the universe started from the Big Bang. Right? Okay. This is according to modern science. Now the next question is, Big Bang, is it single Big Bang or multiple Big Bang? Oh, how very keen. Yeah. Okay, Kurum come. Oh, okay. Kurum son. Oh, wonderful. Welcome, Fairy, a tiny fairy. Yeah, wonderful fairy. And then Gurum's son's name? Vijay. Wow. Okay, welcome Vijay. Wonderful. Okay. Now, whether it is single Big Bang or multiple Big Bang, some scientists, they say single Big Bang. And some other scientists will say multiple Big Bang. What does mean by multiple Big Bang? So what they say, those who advocate multiple Big Bang, is that the universe is expanded, we say bang, explosion, and it starts, when it exploded, they simply run away from each other, they start expanding at the increased speed. This is what is noticed in the Doppler's effect. Now slowly, just as if you hit a gun, a bullet, the bullet will first increase the speed, and then slowly it will slow down. It will slow down and it will fall. Right? Energy becomes zero and it will fall. Likewise, the universe at the moment it is just at the phase of expanding and in such a great speed. greater velocity that they're expanding. And slowly they will slow down, right? And then they'll stop, then what happens? Because of the gravity, everything will again pull back. Like the increasing speeds, they'll come back, right? This one is a big crunch. Again, because of the energy, they will have a big bang, big crunch, big bang, big crunch. So there's a multiple big bang. This is according to some scientists, some physicists. So this is the presentation of how the universe started according to the general meaning from the scientific point of view. Now from the Buddhist point of view, in fact, in Buddhist point of view, it is like saying the numerous galaxies. What we are, where we are, is in the solar system, on planet Earth. And planet Earth is a part of the solar system. And the solar system is just a tiny dot in the huge, massive Milky Way galaxy. And how many such galaxies are here? Just Milky Way galaxy is one of the innumerable galaxies, right? One of the innumerable galaxies. So, according to Buddhism, say these different millions and trillions of world systems are just, say, in this hall. There are so many numerous world systems in there, and some world systems, they decay, they degenerate, and they get destroyed. And the new universe, the new world systems are being created. And in other places, it's abiding, in flourishing. And still others, they are degenerating. And then still others, vacuum. And still others, just newly created, and others already created, and others flourishing. So like, all speaking is zero. That is same. All speaking. So, what the scientists talking about the Big Bang, this, if you take this in the Buddhist context, it becomes the presentation of the starting of the world system of the visible world. Visible world. It's not that we're able to see all other galaxies now. We don't see that. So what we see, the physicists, they could form the Doppler's effect connected with the light. So many of the world systems, in the world systems, for the last billions and billions and billions of years, their light could not even reach the planet Earth today. They could not reach. And some light they reach today, which this light actually traveled how many years ago? Billions and billions and billions and billions of years ago, it traveled that long. So what we see from this light, what we are seeing today as a galaxy, is not present today. This galaxy was present billions and billions and billions of years ago. That is what we are seeing now. And now it is died already. It has been already billions of years. But what we are seeing is just the light. Only after all these billions of years, it finally reached the planet Earth today. Right? So this is, from that point of view, what the modern science explains of the beginning of the universe, and what the Buddhist concept is, in fact, say modern science is part, and Buddhist concept explains the overall universe. The modern science explains the visible universe. This is the distinction that we need to know. Okay, another question. What is karma? In addition, how does it work? Let's say person A and person B have negative karma from past life. That is, no, I can't read it. In this life, that karma happens. Okay.
Did you want me to read the question?
Is this, okay, Damdul, Ush, and Cecilia, three together, yeah? Okay, yeah, come.
I'll read it out. I'm not sure what I wrote.
Yeah. Past life, that is
Old.
Huh?
That is old.
ODD.
Old. Like I owe something you.
Okay. Okay, from past life, that is old. In this life, that karma happens, and person A punches, well, But the apprentice person B chooses to walk away, does sell the previous karma over to each other, and does the scenario now create new karma for each other. Wow. This is the perfect answer of karma. That's true. Say, this is known as the cycle of the karma. The cycle of the karma. Meaning, then say, this time, say person A punches person B. The fact that person B has to receive the blow was because the person B has punched someone else in the past. Right?
Someone else, not person.
Not necessarily this person, someone else. Now this person punching, right? In the process of punching, the person himself is very agitated. Nobody likes agitation. This is the result of negative karma of someone, the past lives. And at the same time, you give a punch, you feel a sense of satisfaction. This is the result of a very unfortunate positive karma. It's a positive karma, but the result happens into just meaningless thing, a little bit of satisfaction of having punched. Right? Now, in the process, you accumulate new karma. You accumulate new karma. This person. Now this person will wait for the next person to punch you next level. Right? Next level. Then the person who received the blow this time, if the person is calm, peaceful, okay, this is my karma, I will not retaliate, I should not give into anger, right? The misery, one chapter of the misery is closed. Whereas if you become angry, how dare you punch me, then you also try to hit him, other person doesn't receive the blow, other person is so active, right, so smart, he's a boxer. So you try to blow, and it does not hit, but because of this action, you accumulate karma. Again, next time, you're going to receive blow somewhere else. So this is known as a vicious cycle of karma. A very vicious cycle. To stop it, you have to think about how all these are triggered by this self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. Seeing the dream, say a person in the dream punching you, and you become so angry in the dream, because of failing to see the dream as a dream, you continue to fight in the dream. Only when you wake up, you stop fighting. Right? You don't have to receive the blows. Okay. Okay, number 4. Do inanimate objects participate in a rebirth cycle? Okay. Say inanimate objects participate. Okay, precisely what you mean, 3 of you, the 3 editors. Doesn't mean that inanimate objects like the say book, they take the bird. Is this the
Yes, something along that. So something like a book or a plant. No, sorry, not a plant. A book or a table or a chair.
Get rid of rebirth. Rebirth is an active state of the mind. Rebirth is always an active state of the mind. Only someone with mind. The mind travels from one birth to the next. That is a rebirth. So those with mind is only the living beings. Living beings, they travel. Okay. There are several more questions. Let me quickly see. Okay, let me say, is awareness also empty? Is awareness also empty? If you keep in mind that everything is empty of objective existence. Everything is empty of objective existence. Empty and empty of objective existence, these are different. Empty means it doesn't exist. Awareness exists. But awareness does not exist objectively. Awareness is empty of objective existence. We should be very precise. After attending this retreat, you should be very precise to know that awareness exists. It is not non-existent. It exists. But it does not exist objectively. It is empty of objective existence. It does exist. This is what we need to know. Number 2. Awareness do not have feeling, no judgment, no pain, no emotion, etc. Then who's awareness? Well, okay. Awareness does have the feeling, does have the judgment, emotion, so forth. But we can we can control, we can, let's say, balance the emotions within awareness. As you try to meditate on the nature of awareness, then what happens? The turbulence of the emotions will stop. There's no emotion. When you say there's no emotion, it doesn't mean that the emotions. The turbulence of the emotion stops. Right? And then the feelings, the turbulence of the feeling stops. There is feeling. There is feeling. But the turbulence of the feeling, say, excessive happiness, unhappiness, worries, these things, all the gross feelings, they stop. Okay. So next question. When we die, does awareness dissolve? When we die, the awareness, does it dissolve or it continues? Awareness and the mind is to me the same. The pure awareness, when we speak about the pure awareness, this awareness, it is like the dirty water. The awareness that we have is like the dirty water. So this dirty water, if you remove the dirt, the pure water comes out from the air. So within the dirty water, the pure water is in dormant state. So that, what is the dormant state is known as the pure awareness. So the pure awareness and the present moment awareness, these two are, we have to make the distinction. The present moment awareness is dirty, but the true nature of the awareness is very pure. So when we die, this awareness continues. Gross awareness dissolves. Gross awareness dissolves. Gross becomes subtle, and finally it becomes a subtleness. And this is known as the care-like mind. Subtlest mind is known as the care-like mind. Subtlest awareness. So this awareness is ejected from the body and it travels to the next life. Right? Okay. Okay, it's already 10:44. Let's do another 6 minutes, then we'll stop here. Okay. Okay. Is it possible to give us the oral transmission of the Heart Sutra and the mantra? Okay. Say someone who's interested in the oral transmission of the Heart Sutra, since that we've been reciting this Heart Sutra every day, almost every day, so the oral transmission is sufficed. Right? It fulfills that. And the Western mantra also recited, so the transmission is more sufficed. Okay. And likewise, foundation law will call it the same. Yeah. Okay. Can Buddhism be attention with the other areas of our lives, or is it usually at harmony? If it can be attention, how do we resolve this tension? This is a good question. Okay. Say Buddhism can, does it means that Buddhism, the practice of Buddhism, does it conflict with the day-to-day life, or it is in harmony with the day-to-day life? This question. So what I would say, day-to-day life, if you mean by day-to-day life, if you mean say corporate job, right, job, and meeting with the boss, right, and then 5:30, still deadline is not finished, deadline is there. So if this is what we meant by day-to-day life, right, and a busy family responsibilities like this, if this is what we meant by day-to-day life, then what I would say is the Buddhism is of two divisions. Buddhism meant to seek personal liberation, and Buddhism meant to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Two parts. So this busy life and so forth, 100% it conflicts with the Buddhism, which is meant for personal liberation. It conflicts. So if you want to do that kind of practice, you have to quit corporate job. You cannot do two things together. You have to quit. Whereas if you want to follow Mahayana Buddhism, meaning Buddhism meant to benefit all sentient beings, right? Meant to benefit all sentient beings, in which case there's no contradiction. Instead, it really supports the day-to-day life. It enriches your day-to-day life, and it eases your day-to-day life, and it makes the whole family members, it makes the whole environment very happy. The more you practice this, the more the happy the whole the people around, environment around you become happy. So there's, instead of contradiction, instead of conflict, this is a total harmony, not only harmony, it makes the environment much happier. It makes your life much easier, and it makes people around you much happier. Okay. Okay. Then I am a vegetarian, including not eating eggs. Some friends will ask me why I don't consume eggs from. Okay, who's this? I don't know.
It's from me.
Say, I don't consume eggs from, say, chickens. They tell me that eggs are not fertilized and therefore there is no life in it, and therefore eggs are vegetarian, and therefore I should eat eggs. Can you give your views, please? Okay, very good question. Very good question. Thank you. In fact, this was the problem which I went through myself. So, me being vegetarian, then I was wondering about the eggs. And then I came to know about the fertilized eggs and the unfertilized eggs, meaning the domestic eggs and the farm eggs. The farm eggs, which are unfertilized, and the domestic eggs, where the hens and the cocks, they're just freely roaming around, the eggs are no doubt fertilized, right? Domestic eggs, by no means, there's no difference between eating eggs and eating meats. It's really separated apart. As the farm eggs, in fact, I don't eat even the farm eggs now. I don't eat even the farm. But simply because I don't eat the farm eggs, right? I won't say that don't eat farm eggs. What I would say is with the farm eggs, no doubt it is not fertilized. It is totally unfertilized, which means it doesn't have life 100%. And still the question was lingering in my mind for some time, whether or not it's true. Then on an aeroplane, when coming from America to India, many years ago, I met one Sikh gentleman, Sikh, SMKH, Sikh gentleman, and he was my seatmate. And then we were discussing about, somehow this question came up. And then I said, I don't eat meat, but I'm a little worried about the eggs. I'm not too sure whether they are fertilized or not fertilized. Then he said, okay, you don't have to worry about it. 100%, the farm eggs, they are not fertilized. 100%. And he said that I know you will not be convinced. I have a friend who is actually running, what do you call that? Chicken farms. Poultry is guinea. No, really guinea. For the eggs. You call poultry? Okay, let's say egg farms. Okay, say you raise the chickens for the sake of the eggs. So he has a friend who is the owner of that. And he said that this owner knows things so well. So the moment I was telling, I will request his friend, he will request his friend to send me an email to confirm that. In just 2-3 days I received an email. The owner of the chicken farm, and said that 100% there's no life in it, it is too long fertilized, and if this egg that you pick up from the farm eggs, and then you put it in incubator, it will never hatch. And on top of that, Mahatma Gandhi also eats eggs. He's a very strong vegetarian, right? But he eats. Okay, so from this one story. So therefore, what I would say is that the farm eggs are totally lifeless, no life. Okay, the next question. Then if that is the case, why don't you eat eggs altogether, in my case? It's because at one point I started eating eggs, the farm eggs. The domestic eggs, no, they have life. Then what happened was that somebody sent me, say, video clip of how the chickens, they suffer so much. And so I watched it and I see the suffering of the chickens. Although they don't have to lose their life, for the eggs. Eventually they will lose their life for meat, for the chicken meat. But for the eggs, they will lose their life. Still, just for eggs, how much suffering they go through, this I can bear. So I stopped eating even those eggs. But I personally would say that if you have health issues, what I would say is that eat eggs. Eat eggs, but the farm eggs, not the domestic eggs. Right? Because your health is very important. Your health is very important. Okay. This is finished. What the Buddha's doing in the realms. Okay. So there are 1 or 2 questions left, otherwise everything is finished. So, very good. We will now do the dedication prayer. Okay, end dedication prayer on page what? Okay, let's turn to page 278. Lord, my prayer for His Holiness Dalai Lama. Okay. If someone can lend a book, prayer book to Guru and Guru's son.
I have.
Yes, 2 of them. And our Fairy will share with his Dumala. Okay. So, let us, actually I wish all the participants are here. Never mind. And some of you may not know Mr. Jimbala there. How many of you don't know Mr. Jimbala? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6. And keep in mind that, yes, 7. Keep in mind that keep in mind that, say, all these programs, particularly those of you who don't know Jimbala, all these programs, how the spark came to be was all because of Suila there. Suila. If you want to hear from her, there are very interesting anecdotes are here, right? Okay, so it is all through Suila that the spark simply came up. And then I came in contact with Jimbala, and Swin came to contact with me through Jimbala's program, TBC's program, where Jimbala, Winnie, they were all bringing, just people from all over the world and take to His Holiness the Dalai Lama for teachings. So it happened to be there for the program under that. Then we became very close, like Sui, Faith, Alvin, Jan, Direct, yeah. So we became very close. Okay. And then Jimbala and I came to know very closely. Just in a short while, we became very close. And then slowly, I came to know about TBC, and then I came to know about Queenie, then Yenching, and then to visit, Wayne was taking exceptional kind of care about the program, so Wayne was heavily involved there. So that was back in, I think, 2010. Then I came to realize that so many people, they are somehow connected to the purest form of the teaching of the Buddha. Thus, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, they get connected to the ultimate source through TBC, which is possible. There are so many centers in Southeast Asia, But TBC is the only center which is successfully doing that. Very successfully doing that. And it's not because of Jimbala, somehow his current connection with the office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and particularly His Holiness the Dalai Lama having a special affection towards him. So that made all these people, now how many people remain? How many people connected already now? Innumerable. So now this is like the 10th year. This is the 10th year. For 10 years, Jimbala, Vela, Winnie, so they're just bringing all this number of people, always every year connected to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So the ones the people connected to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, there's no danger that the people will be misled into the spirituality, right? They will approach the correct spirituality. So this is how TBC becomes very special in Singapore. Because very special for the reason that this is a center which can successfully connect all the people to His Holiness the Dalai Lama in Dharamsala. Okay, so this is, I would say that this is all because of the vision and the karmic connection and the, say, influence of Jimbala and the karmic connection, Jimbala's karmic connection with TBC, with His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Office of His Holiness. So now I was saying that how Jimbala, context, I was just observing it for the last 10 years, and how he operates TBC is just really, really amazing. So while he's the head, while he's the founder, he's the head, he makes sure that people who are with very pure heart, they can really do anything. They can really take the lead. They're totally free there. So how, say, Winnie, then say, now we have a very young one there, Kerry, right? And then we have Pauline, right? Pauline, then we have Edmund, right? And then, so this time we have Fiza, who's been so kindly cooking everything, helping. Then we have the Sweden, Faye, they all kind of someone, very much heavily involved with this TBC. So we see that the success of all these things is all because, one, because the main umbrella is because of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's inspiration and blessings. And then Jimbala's heading the institution and the connection with the Office of His Holiness. And then the very effective staff down there, like the two vice presidents, Vinny, Wayma, two of them, and then we have the other staff like, say, Edmund, Carrie, Pauline, Yechen, and Jacqueline, right? And and the volunteers, for example, like Faye and Suina, and now we see Visa actively taking part in it. So we see that this is who Mr. Jimbala is. So we should all be feeling exceptionally grateful to him for making all these things happen. And then this morning when I was telling him that you're a very lucky guy because you have all these wonderful people supporting you, like Wayne, Winnie. Amazing. I mean, just the overseas and everything is being taken care of by all these young staff. And then Jimbala was again exceptionally speaking about Kerry, who is so, so effective, so kind and amazing. And then the staff from Yechen, then Edmund, Jacqueline, Pauline, Edmund. Living. So therefore, there is great that TBC really flourishes, and we are very fortunate that we have a resident teacher, Geshe Kintamani, and we are really very fortunate that there is a resident teacher there. So there may be little language problems so far. Still, he is an amazing great scholar, and what I would suggest is that try to make the most of his presence there. Right? Okay. So let us pray that Jibala, then we say Venla, Winnie, then and they carry Eben, then Fiza, then Faith, Suyen, and the Colin, and Jacqueline, then the Living. Of course, someone who is the one who better make sure that we're all on time with the bell. Yeah. So let us pray that they all have one life and that what they're doing, the great service to Dharma, flourish even more. Right? Okay, with this, I simply like to introduce you, all of you, to Jibala, because I really appreciate his style of administering at TDC, and particularly how he connects people to his Holiness the Dalai Lama. And we already know the other stuff, how he so much work for TDC and for this program, and I'm exceptionally grateful to Wenla, then Fiza, Carrie, then Sonula for ringing the bell for all of us, and then we have Sui now, who's been so kind in making sure that I'm doing well, fed. Thank you. And we have, let's say, Jogala, who's making sure that the Bali from living is properly prepared and that I'm getting it right here 2-3 times a day. Right? Thank you very much, Jogala, living for that matter. Okay, and for all of you. So, and most important thing, this one's going to be so happy. This one's going to be so happy that something is coming out. That Bodhicitta, Vishnu as something which is productive is coming out, right? And so this program, and most of you who had this one-on-one discussion with me, so you all saw the face of Fizala, right? Fizala arranged all these things, made things, and he's making sure the interviews really happen, right? Really happened, because say when the teachings are just getting extended, then she's worried that others may not get a chance for the interview. So she will make sure that the interview is happening, right? There's interview. Okay, right? So thank you very much, Fizala, for all your hard work. Yeah. And then all the participants, had it not been for the participants, then finally what for, all of us, that His Holiness will be so happy that something of the Bodhicitta thing. And that too, he also always emphasizes that keep learning something, keep learning Buddhism. So this is what we have. And somebody said something, in fact, for your information. What I thought was that this retreat, because of the time, the shortage of time, I thought that, it did not come to my expectation. Meaning that I was expecting more intense than this. And then just when this thought came to me, then the next moment, the next day, I became so happy that it's not as intense. It's not as intense. Because some people gave me the feedback, they did not know what was going in their mind. They said that, this retreat is so intense. What we studied in other places for like 2 years is like just in 1 week. We got everything, but it's so intense. Okay, then, I'm happy that it's not so intense. That they feel really intense. If it is much more intense, they will leave. Right? I'm happy that the pace or the intensity is just very proper. Right? So, you all made it. And let's all pray that Lama Sirimpa, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, they would really feel proud today, this time of 1 week, of being very productively used by each one of us, right? So let's pray that this teaching on Bodhicitta, this teaching on wisdom flourish in all directions. May each one of us, may each one of you become the heirs and the heirs of Lama Sirimpa, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to spread and disseminate is teaching Bodhicitta in all 10 directions in 3 times in the month of all sentient beings. Okay, so at the end, let's pray, and let's say a longer prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the ultimate source of light, source of hope, joy, all on this earth today. Okay, let's say this prayer. Om Swasti, O our Gurus and the line of Lamas for whom we have the deepest gratitude. You who are the repository of the 3 secret powers of bodies, speech, and mind in the middle of Buddha, who manifests in a miraculous way to each devotee according to his capacity. To you who are wish-fulfilling gems, the source of all virtues and good qualities, we offer our prayers with intense devotion, that our protector of the great and of snows, Tenzin upholder of the Bhavana, great ocean, may live for 100 eons. Pour in your blessings that his aspirations may be fulfilled. The Damdul, the inexpressible reality that pervades all things like the heavens. Immaculate, full of great bliss and transcendental wisdom. Manifest like a cloud, the numberless exposed of the high divinities. The mother of the heavenly beings, to all the higher forms of the divine ones, the Heathens, we offer our prayers with intense devotion, that destiny of the terrible great loving stones may live for 100 eons. Pour on him your blessings that his aspirations may be fulfilled. O you numberless Buddhas of the past, present, and future, who are the masters of the 10 powers and teachers of the gods, whose attributes of perfection, free from defilements and born of realization, are the souls of the Buddha activity that appears for all times in the ocean of the suffering world, for the sake of all sentient beings. To you we offer our prayers with intense devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, the treasure of the great and stones, may live for 100 eons. Pour on him your blessings that his aspirations may be fulfilled. O second Dharmas of the 3 yanas, which liberate us from the sufferings of the 3 worlds, supremely calm, the true treasure of the fully enlightened ones, without impurities, unchanging, eternally good, and people of truth, to you we offer our prayers with intense devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, the treasure of the great and stones, may live for 100 eons. Pour on him your blessings that his aspirations may be fulfilled. All you Arya Sangha, awakened and unsullied, of highest valor and conquering the suffering of the wheel of life, with the transcendental wisdom that directly intuits the deeper truth, never departing from the indestructible Vajra and Bhavana. To you we offer our prayers with intense devotion, that density of the return of the great light stones may live for 100 eons. Pour on him your blessings that his aspirations may be fulfilled. O you God, heavenly beings of the 3 worlds, who appear in the highest paradises, the sacred high places, the cremation grounds, who have innumerable experiences of the bliss of the world, supporting yogis in the meditation on the excellent path. To you all we offer our prayers with intense devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, the temple of great light stones, may live for 100 eons. Pour on him your blessings that his aspirations may be fulfilled. To the ocean guardians of the teachings, who possess the higher transcendental wisdom, carrying on their metal blocks their mount, symbolic of the vows that made to Bojjhanga, the powerful ones who protect the teachings, and the upholders of the Dharma, we offer your prayers with intense devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, the turtle of the great light stones, may live for 100 eons. Pour on him your blessings that his aspirations may be fulfilled. To all who guide ones, and guidance ones, in whom we take the excellent refuge, we pray with intense devotion, humbly from our very heart, that by the strength of these verses, now of Tenzin Gyatso, he who has power of speech, the kindly one, upholding the Dharma, the great ocean, he who possesses the 3 secret powers, may be indestructible, eternal, and without end. That seated on the supreme unconquerable throne of the Vajra, he may live for 100 eons. Pour on him your blessings that his aspirations may be fulfilled. You who bear the burden of innumerable Buddhas, with courage carrying on your shoulders the vast activities of the fully enlightened ones, working for the welfare of all beings, like the wish-fulfilling gem, the truth of truths, may your aspirations be perfectly fulfilled. By virtue of this, may the golden era be erupted, like a gate to the great spaces, liberating all sentient beings, coming as the happiness of spring that comforts us, and helps us to teach the Buddha to spread in all directions and in all ages, making it possible to summon the samsara and Bhavana. O you with the lotus in your hand, may the nectar stream of your blessings strengthen our mind and May we be able to please you by practicing Dharma to accomplish at all times the good deeds of the Bodhisattvas in the Bhavana. By the blessings of the wondrous Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, by the unassailable truth of the spiritual laws of the cause and effect, by the unseen power of the pure mind, may the aim of my prayers be accomplished soon. Okay, let's turn to the end text of the prayer. Okay, why not? What is one? Let's turn to page 306. Okay, now with all these dedication merits, let me personally dedicate the merits to this effort. That each one of you, through your concerted effort, be able to concerted effort in this study, reflection, and meditation, if possible, daily, be it 5 minutes, that when your bodhicitta maintenance grows, that soon you will see the dawn of the spontaneous bodhicitta and the maintenance in yourself, and that very soon each one of you become such a reliable guide to lead all the infinity of unsocial beings to the ultimate state of happiness, wherein the Buddha nature of each one of them is awakened fully. May His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the true source of which enjoy the happiness of this today, may He live long, and that His wishes be fulfilled spontaneously. May the teaching of Bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind of this earth, may the teaching of the wisdom of emptiness, the most fearless mind of this earth, may these two teachings flourish in all 10 directions in the minds of all demons and human beings, present and future. Okay, let's turn to page 306. From my two collections, Master Space that are Americans, I'm working with this practice for a very long time. May I become the chief deity Buddha for all those whose minds lose minds and ignorance. Even if I do not reach the state, may I be held in the loving compassion for all lives and judiciary, may I find the best of the complete great power of the teachings, and may I use all the Buddhas in my practice. This is still for me, strong by the strong force of compassion. May clear the darkness of the minds of all things with the point of the Bhavana as I discern them. May I uphold Buddha's teaching for a very long time, with my heart going out with great compassion, in whatever directions the most precious teachings have not been spread or once spread and declined. May I reveal this precious happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted conscious peace, and the Buddha's peace be nourished for a long time. By even this greater part of enlightenment travels completely due to the wondrous verses handled by the Buddhas and their children. May all human beings be limited in adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing the excellent paths, never be separated in any of their lives from the purest mind raised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the temple Mahaya and Buddhist practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones in the oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. Okay, so finally let us all pray that the Tibetan Buddhist Center flourish in all these activities, that this center must thrive at all times, that the teachings, that the programs that they're conducting, particularly connecting all the people to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the ultimate, the sun of this universe, that this activity of TBC may live long, may thrive, and all the other missions Mr. Chimbala has, the visions that Wayne, Winnie, and all the staff that they have of TBC, may they really flourish and thrive, that they ask many Singaporeans, as many Malaysians, as many Indonesians, from the Hong Kong and all the places, be able to reap the nectar from this, the flourishing TBC. May the activities of TBC flourish to its zenith, the highest point. And may all the staff of TBC headed by Mr. Chimbala, may all you have a very successful life, and your service with Dharma would make you become enlightened very soon. And may the other centers all over the world, like ABC, amazing center, and all the other centers, and particularly the great monastic institutions like Ganden, Sera, Dipon, and say all the monastic traditions of all the other traditions as well, like Nyingma, Sakya, Gaitu, and say Theravadas, and everywhere where there is this light, the light to make the human beings, make the sentient beings happy, may these centers thrive and give great service to the Dharma. Okay, with that mind, let's turn to page 308. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness in the world. All powerful changes in cleansing the other, please remain anxious and silence. Due to the merits of these virtual sanctions, may I quit that table and stay with the Guru Buddha, and lead all beings without exception into their enlightened state. May the Supreme Bodhicitta, that is not erased and rise and grow, may that which is risen not diminish but increase forevermore. I dedicate marriage thus granted towards the realization of these prayers of all Buddhist Bodhisattvas of the 3 times and to the Bodhicitta Dharma of the teaching and realization. May in all lives through force of this marriage, never separate from the 4 weeks to Mahani and Vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, and Bodhicitta perfectly in the 2 stages. With the wish to all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I achieve enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, to reign in Buddha's presence, I shall be mindful of awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Chogo Chen, I confess the negatives individually, I rejoice the virtues for all beings, I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. As long as spirit remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then I do remain in this Buddha world. Okay. And I can know that the owner of the center, owner of this retreat center, Mr. Albert Helen and Mrs. Lillian Helen. And I came to know how the center came to be. It was a sheer, it has nothing to do with any other ulterior motives. It's a sheer, say, devotion to Dharma, particularly Mrs. Lillian Helen. Her sheer devotion to the Dharma, she wanted, because of her connection with Dharma, initially Theravada, now with the Tibetan Buddhism, with Mingyur Geshe, it is her sheer love and devotion to Dharma that she wants to see that many others as well get this opportunity for Dharma. So with this vision, she created this place for Dharma Center and supported, very much supported by her husband, Mr. Albert Helen. And then they were very fortunate to have such a wonderful staff like Park Iris, and the 4 other staff, the gardeners, the cleaners, and so forth. And then we are very fortunate that they hired 2 staff in the kitchen for our food, and all the good food that we got is because of them. And particularly, we should be very grateful to Mrs. Lillian Helen and Mr. Albert Helen for creating this space for all traditions. Whoever takes interest in holding some retreats in space, they just give this, open this door for everyone. So making all the traditions enjoy the space. So let us pray that they also have long life, and whatever they have in their mind in conformity with Dharma, they accomplished swiftly. And say, the Pakaras and all his other staff, and the staff here, let's pray that they lead a very virtuous life, they have a healthy, long life, virtuous, happy life, and family, and so forth. Okay, and then we're also very grateful to Guru, very grateful to Guru. So on the first day, Guru just gave his love and affection and just took us to the places around, and his love and affection, his generosity is just immense. So let me pray that you, your wife, and Denzin Darjala, and let's say the Fairy, and Ninja, that all of you have a very happy and very bright life for the two young kids. Okay, so, and I pray that each one of you would have a very meaningful life, virtuous life. Okay. With this, we will end with the last few stanzas. Page 3110. The path of the UN of entities is compassion. This wisdom is explained by the protected Dharma and the base of the snow. With the lotus holded as the Yasu, this ability that the relationship fulfills spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces of humans and non-humans who held on medicines perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhists be truly vanquished through the power of the truth of rituals. We can all despair with the motivation of great compassion, with the motivation of Bodhicitta. Let's pray that this teaching on Bodhicitta, this teaching on dependent Buddhist mission, that each one of us be able to spread it to everyone, to an infinite number of the dear sentient beings. Okay, let's say this 3 times. May throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the Geshe, be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of the Buddhist in particular, even the personal life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the Geshe and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of the Buddhist in particular, even my personal life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the Geshe and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of the Buddhist in particular, even in personal life. Okay, now sealing the virtue, which means that all the virtues which we engaged in for the last 1 week. So in order that this is not destroyed, in order it is not destroyed, we see that with the meditation on entities. So once that is sealed, then it's not going to be destroyed to Buddhahood. Right? Okay, so for this, let's quickly meditate on emptiness. Just sit upright and visualize all those bodhisattvas. They're so happy. It's a great jubilant day for all of us, all those bodhisattvas. And you're being with your 2 grandparents, or all your family members, and all the other sentient beings. Okay, so while everything, all these virtues happen, yet all these virtues simply exist on the conventional reality. They're all empty of objective existence. They're all empty of objective existence. Seeing that they're all empty of objective existence, this is the final light of the ultimate reality, final light of non-dual spiritualities. This is the final light of the ultimate fearlessness and the peace and the happiness and the multiple of sentient beings. Okay, let's quickly see the meditation. Okay. Say yourself, I'm just made of 6 elements. Element of earth, fire, water, air, space, and consciousness. And none of these 6 elements is me. No different from the 6 elements is me. So going too close to this object, we see that this self disappears. It is empty. What I see earlier as a self is just dreamland. It's all coming from a mind, dreamland. From Dorji's side, it's totally empty. It's totally empty. So it's kind of emptiness. Our guidance is great that in this analysis, this self disappears, it's empty. Our guidance is good for one. Likewise, all phenomena subjected to the same analysis, nothing will be found. Everything is streamlined. About 6 months in a while. Okay, let's turn to page 219. Let's turn to page 219. The last paragraph. Page 219. The last 2 lines and then behind. Let's read them together. What we did with emptiness is what we are reading now. Page 219. Let's read them together. All phenomena encompassing samsara and Bhavana are but radiance of the spontaneous awareness. The awareness itself, devoid of elaborations, is realized in the nature of Dharmakaya. But reading all existences and appearances of samsara and Bhavana is a great Mahamudra. May the Buddha Dharma of the heavens knows place forevermore. 2 to 1. Okay. With 40 tenths. With 40 tenths. With 40 tenths. Shri Heduka, Shri Heduka, Shri Heduka. Hey is the surface of the phenomena. The mind that is the source of everything is empty of true existence, as it is imputed to be a cause of nature. Blue is the surface of person, the emptiness of the self that is fabricated by the weapon of conceptual thought that grounds for the self of a person. God is the ultimate reality, the absence of the disciplined duality of such an object. Shri is the non-dual soul of wisdom that applies in congruence. With the emptiness of the object, this is the meaning of Eon. Okay, good. Okay, thank you, Jibala. Thank you,